7. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to meet with President Trump at the White House.
All right, let's get right down to Doug from Washington.
Hey, good morning. These two guys have certainly found common cause on Iran, but a deal in Gaza remains elusive, even as President Trump says a ceasefire may be right around the corner. The 4th of July flyover at the White House is just one indicator of what President Trump will want to talk about today. And look for him to tout the U.S. bombing mission in Iran when he sits down once again with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House.
We're going to have a meeting on Iran, obviously. The success, that was a great success.
Netanyahu called it a tremendous victory over a shared enemy as he departed Israel yesterday. That war between Israel and Iran wrapped up in just 12 days. But the bigger issue now may be Gaza, an intense conflict that is approaching the 2-year mark.
I think we're close to a deal on Gaza. We could have it this week.
The president is pushing for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas that includes the return of Israeli hostages. Hamas appears to be open to it, but there are unresolved questions, including whether it would track to a permanent end to the war. The Democrats say the president is not the deal maker he thinks he is.
He is not bringing peace to Ukraine and Russia. He's not bringing peace to the Middle East, for that matter, despite everything they talk about. Their wars continue. The war in Gaza continues.
And much may hinge on what these two leaders can hash out at the White House today. And Netanyahu will also try to shore up support here on Capitol Hill. He's meeting, he says, with congressional leaders from both parties. Mike and Karen.
All right, Doug, we'll see you again tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. 7:13. Well, the death toll now in central Texas from the flash floods has risen to 82. Police say that, 10 campers from that Mystic campsite remain missing, 10 of them.
So mostly young girls, of course. So
Yeah.
more than 500 people, the good news is, have been rescued. They've been plucked out of trees and from cars. People in Kerr County say that so many of the people who die are children, as you can imagine, 28 swept away. They have, and this is just so horrifying, 40 bodies that still need to be identified. So, of course, this is all right along the banks of the Guadalupe, which just surged 26 feet when all of a sudden the rain, there was a system that set up over that area and did not move and just pounded it, that whole basin with so much water there. So we have those 10 little girls still missing. They're looking for a counselor as well. We know the camp director died in the flash flood. I believe a family member of one of the chiefs and owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, they lost a little girl, one of their family members. There's a girl who did survive, and here's what she says.
And I just put it on just for safekeeping, saying in my head I was saying, if something does happen and I do get swept away, at least I'll have my name on my body.
She put a name tag right on her, on herself so that they could find her. How, grim is that, where little girls have to think about stuff like that?
Look how fast this happened.
So this is the time lapse of just what it was like when that water surged, because it's, it's just nowhere near, you wouldn't expect it because it's a smaller river in that area. So that is the time lapse of that area.
Within minutes.
Yep, 26 feet right there. So people just didn't have time.
Cars were floating away with the lights on. You could see the lights and you can hear honking. And there was like not one or two, but there were dozens of vehicles just floating away.
I mean, that area floods all the time, but nothing like that.
Right, it's normally a wash, and it's like dry, so you get the water and it runs in the runoff into that area, but it was just, they haven't had a setup of the storm like that. So, of course, the governor, they had a day of prayer on a Sunday, of course, for all of those victims in the community.
All right, so here's how you can help. Join Fox's support of recovery efforts following that horrible flood. Your donation supports the community foundation of the Texas Hill Country. That's what that area of Texas is called, the Hill Country. It's a relief and rebuilding effort. So visit go.fox/TX flood relief, or just scan that QR code. Is the easiest thing to do. Get out your phone right now. Scan that QR code to support the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund.
Let's see. So, obviously, given all of that, it was sort of like a freak thing that happened down there.